Seriously, if you use WhatsApp, if you have MoMo, if you've ever watched a YouTube video in this country, this video is about you. This isn't just news, this is a huge warning because we are in doom. Right now, in the Parliament of Ghana, they are trying to pass a new amendment bill called the Cybersecurity Amendment Bill 2025. And they want you to think that this is just some boring government paper for IT geeks. But look at this. This bill is about turning Ghana's internet into a high security cage, and they are giving a few government workers the keys to your private life. Now, why am I concerned? Because this bill is particularly for the cybersecurity and tech industry, and so as your tech plug, I need to come and explain certain things for you inside the bill. Now, in this video, we are going to break down this bill into super simple parts. What exactly does this scary amendment bill say, and why should every Ghanaian be furious? My name is Happy Amera. Let's get right into it. Now, Ghana already has a group called the Cybersecurity Authority, CSA for short. They were supposed to be the friendly IT support team there to help us stay safe online. Harmless, right? No. This new bill changes everything. It transforms the Cybersecurity Authority, CSA, from an advisor into a powerful digital police force. Why do I call them the digital police? Because this bill gives them the power of a real law enforcement officer. It says the Director General, his deputies, and other authorized officers, and I quote, shall exercise the power of a police officer, including the powers of arrest, search, and seizure, as stated in the Section 20B, subsection 1. Now, in this video, I'll be quoting most of the laws directly from the bill so that you know where exactly I'm talking about. Now, think about this. They are taking the IT guys, giving them police powers, slapping uniforms on them, and telling them to put you in handcuffs and search your property. This is a massive, scary power up, and it affects every single person who owns a phone in Ghana. Now, let's jump straight into what this amendment bill actually says about your money and your messages, starting with the chilling power to take everything you own. Now, there are three scariest powers this amendment bill is coming to enact, and let me just explain to you. Now, the first law, the power number 1 that the bill is coming to hand over, is they can take everything you own, even if you are innocent. Yes. Now, imagine the new digital police believe you broke a cyber rule. They don't just want to arrest you, they want your money and your property. Now, the bill gives them a shocking power to go after your assets, even if a judge says you did nothing wrong. It literally says that, and I quote, if criminal prosecution fails, civil assets recovery should still proceed, as stated in Section 59B, subsection 5. That means that the judge can say, at least you are not guilty of a crime, but the digital police can still take your house, your car, or your savings because they believe you got that money from cybercrime. Even worse, they can hit the freeze button on your bank account first. The bill states that they can, and I quote, in writing, direct the freezing of the property of a person or entity being investigated, as stated in Section 59B, subsection 6. They only have to apply to the court for confirmation within 14 days after freezing your account. So they lock up your money first and then they ask permission second. This is a terrifying power to financially strangle anyone they do not like. Now, this is just one of the three powers. Power number 2 is you pay for the police that watch you. Now, I know by now you might be thinking, how is this thing going to be funded? How is this digital police force going to pay for all of these arrests and all of these searches? Simple. You will pay for it. Now, this new amendment bill sets up a special cybersecurity fund and takes tax money directly from your pockets in a sneaky way. Let me explain. The bill says that the sources of money include 12% of the communications service tax for the fund per annum, as stated in Section 31 F, and 9% corporate tax for the fund per annum as stated in section 39G. Now, let me break this down. Now, the 12% data tax, this is a massive slice of the tax you already pay every time you buy data bundle or talk on the phone. You are directly paying the police that will track you and arrest you. Now, the second tax, which is the 9% business tax, let me also explain. They are forcing the big companies to pay this new corporate tax. But as you already know, the companies don't pay taxes. You are going to pay. We, the consumers, are the one going to bear the consequences. They will just make their products and their services more expensive, and you would swallow the cost. You are funding the cage that will hold your freedom. Now, let's look at the power number 3. They can read your secret texts. Yes. Now, you may ask, with all this bill, what about privacy? Now, when you send a private WhatsApp message or an email, you expect it to be safe, right? At least that is your digital log boss. No, this new bill gives the government the secret key to your digital diary. Now, the bill says that when the digital police asks a service provider like MTN or Vodafone for stored data, the provider, and I quote, shall take steps to ensure that the request by the law enforcement agency is not disclosed to third parties during the period as stated in the section 59H subsection 1. In plain simple English, the digital police can read your private messages and legally force your service provider to keep the entire request a secret from you. You won't know they are watching until they show up at your doorstep with the evidence. This is Big Brother surveillance Ghanaian style. Now, these are the powers of the police and the prosecutor. But what are the crimes they can charge you with? That's where things get truly scary for the average person, because the law is so vague that even a bad breakup could land you in jail for some years. Now, let's look at this vague law that I am talking about. Do you know that you can have time in prison for an angry post or an old photo you shared? Yes. Of course, we all have some small arguments or share something online we shouldn't have shared. Now, under this bill, those silly mistakes can land you in a real prison for years. This law is designed to scare you. The bill says cyberbullying includes posting or sending offensive photos, even if the photos were taken with the consent of the victim with the intention to humiliate or embarrass the victim, as quoted from the section 67A subsection 11C of the law. And so, if you are caught doing this, you face a term of imprisonment of not less than 1 year and not more than 3 years, as stated in section 67A subsection 9. 1 to 3 years in prison just for sharing an old photo from a relationship that causes embarrassment. This is like taking a childhood mistake and then turning it into a life-destroying crime. Now, what about people who speak against the government? This bill can easily label them as cyber criminals. The law on cyber stalking is, now let me clarify why I'm doing a lot of these things, is because I'm quoting directly from the bill, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check the full document so you can read it for yourself. Now, the law on cyber stalking is so broad, it criminalizes simply observing people in public. Yes, it prohibits using an electronic device to monitor the real-world activities of another person without the consent of the person. Section 67A, subsection 4D. Now, if a journalist watches a corrupt politician's movement in public, is that monitoring real-world activities? And if the government doesn't like what you say, they will charge you with spreading quote-unquote misinformation. Now, the bill makes it an offense to deliberately spread false or misleading information with the intent to deceive or manipulate a person or a fact, as stated in section 67A subsection 8. Now, the penalty for this is a term of imprisonment of not less than 3 years and not more than 5 years, as stated in section 67A subsection 10 of the law. Now, this is a clear warning. Strong criticism of the powerful can be twisted into a 5-year jail sentence just to make you scared to speak, because anytime you speak, if you do not take care, they are coming for you and they are going to imprison you. So they are suppressing the voices we are having in the country. Now, if you're a tech guy, this is something you should also take note of. For all our young innovators who want to build maybe the next big app or work with new technologies like AI, blockchain, or any other emerging technology, this bill is a massive stop sign. The digital police are now given the power to control your ideas. The authority is required to certify the security of innovations, products, artificial intelligence, cloud technology, blockchain-based technology, and any other emerging technologies as stated in section 4AC. And so if you have a brilliant idea or a new piece of technology, a brilliant piece of technology, you would have to go and kneel before this CSA for them to say that it's okay before you can launch it. This isn't protection, this is control. This bill is a major roadblock for every Ghanaian inventor. The government is locking up your freedom. Let's talk about the ultimate traitor, Honorable Sam George. For years, Sam George was the man. He was our voice against the government's digital overreach. He was the one who stood up for your right to say anything, anywhere online. He was our digital rights champion. We gave him our trust because we knew that he would protect our freedom. I'm sorry to tell you that Sam George is dead. He is now the Minister for Communications, and he is the one pushing this terrifying digital police bill through Parliament. The man we trusted to keep the gates is now the one opening the gates for the wolves. And this is his act of betrayal. He knows very well that this bill creates the police state he once fought against, but he's taking the trust we had in him and using it to build the most powerful surveillance machine Ghanaians have ever seen, funded by your money. There is no other word for it. Sam George, the digital rights defender, has become a traitor to the Ghanaian people by pushing this digital police state bill. Now, you must act. There's something you can do to stop it. At least it is a bill and it has not yet been passed into law. And so if you are worried, you have every right to be, because this bill is an attack on your freedom, your pocket, and your right to speak without fear. It has to be stopped. Here is your mission right now. Now, let's share this video everywhere to your WhatsApp groups, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure everyone knows what is happening, what is actually in this bill. Show them the quotes from the bill that I just explained in the video. Find your member of parliament, those of you who are close to your MPs, call their office, text them, or send them a message and tell them that you are demanding they vote no on the Cybersecurity Amendment Bill 2025. Because of course, we gave them the power to Parliament. We voted them. And so we have the right to tell them what we want them to do in Parliament. And so do not be silent. We must now become the champions he used to be. The fight for a free Ghana is not just in the streets. It is in your phone. Let's make some noise. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this bill in the comment section. Do you think it is something that should go on, or it should be completely abolished, as I am stating in this video? Whether you agree or disagree with me, let me know what you think in the comment section. Now, like this video and subscribe and put us on post notifications so that whenever we drop more awesome content like this, you would be notified. So we'll meet again in the next video. My name is Apiamira. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.